Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have gotten a few new fish from PetSmart. So I was looking into finding some ghost shrimp, which I think you can see here. Not really, they're in there. There's some mystery snails for one of my other tanks. And then I have some Cobra Guppies for this tank specifically. So I'm going to get them moved into this tank, but first we have to get them ready for this tank. So first things first is I'm going to put them into a bucket and start kind of drip acclimating them. I'm not going to do drips because that takes too long, and I'd rather just get them into the tank quicker. So what I normally do, and I've not had any issues, you know, with doing it myself before, so take that for what you will. Normally I toss them into the bucket with the water they're already in, and then I slowly, over the course of like half an hour, pour more and more water from the tank they're going into it. And then when I'm done, I scoop them out with a net, and then I put them in the tank. So we're going to do that. And like I said, the shrimp and the snails are not going in this tank, but I've got them up to temperature with the rest of the tanks for right now because I was busy getting the rest of the groceries in and all that. So we're gonna start getting them ready for this tank, and I'll show you, that part too. Okay, so we're going to do one bag at a time. And first things first is I have the bag with the, there's 3 Cobra Guppy males, and then they're just fancy assorted female guppies. But I do have 2 that look like female cobras. I mean, obviously, I got these from PetSmart, and they're not really good about labeling them, or don't care enough to label the females. Oops, snap the rubber band. So I have 2 that look like they are cobra females, and I have a plain one that's just yellow. This is double bag, sorry. And I have other guppies in my 29-gallon, which you guys haven't really seen yet. I plan to do a all my tanks video probably in the coming weeks, but I've got a few videos planned first that need to get done. But soon you'll be seeing all of my tanks, and I mean, probably by then I'll have another tank started. So okay, because I'm afraid this is not going to be enough water, which it probably is not. Let me get my pitcher. It's important you label which pitcher is for fish. You don't want to make that mistake. Okay, let me get some extra water. Okay, this will probably be enough water. I'm going to move this over so you guys can see better. Okay, so I'll pour this in. So this is my water for the tank that they're going in. So I'm just going to put them right in with their own water. Just let the air out of the bag, and then I'm going to snip that, and we're just going to let them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Okay. And they have their own water in there. So what we're going to do is just leave them like that. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Starting now.
So what I do is I'm gonna set a timer for 10. I set a timer for 10 minutes. We're going to wait and let them get used to this. Temperature should be fine because they've been floating for a while. I use my own tank water, and their water should have been up to temperature. So we're gonna wait 10 minutes, and then I'm going to add a little bit more of my own water, probably about half of what I just did full of pitcher, and then we'll do it again in like another 10 minutes. Do the same thing. However, I do have the other fish that need to go in. So we're just going to do them with this tank water because it'll be easier. Once they're in their tank, once they're in the tank, you'll be able to see them better. I can't wait to show them to you because they're really pretty. Bagged. And again, I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to stab it a little bit, let the air out, and then I cut the top off. I was going to pour it into the bag the same way. Just want to make sure all the shrimp are out of the bag because I would feel awful if I found one later. So let me see if I can get you closer. So now you can see all the fish. Both bags of their water are in here, which obviously isn't good. But when I go to add them to the tanks, they're going to get scooped out. We have 6 guppies, 3 males, 3 females. I know the ratio. I'm just going to move some over from my other tank. 3 mystery snails, and there should be about 10 ghost shrimp. So we're going to wait the 10 minutes that I have left on the timer, and then we're going to add more water. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of days since I added the guppies into the tank, and I wanted to make sure that everything was going to be okay, especially since they're quite colorful and they are being housed with betas, even if they are females. I just wanted to make sure everything was going to be fine, I wouldn't have to return anybody. So I actually went and got 3 more because I wanted to have more girls. The ratio for guppies is 2 females to 1 male. So we've now adjusted this. We now have 7 girls and 3 boys. And everyone is just living peacefully and it's fantastic. The only thing I'm missing for this tank is I want to get a couple of coolie loaches. And then I think this entire stock for this tank will be done. Maybe add 2 more female betas. But that's not necessary. I'm quite happy with the girls that I have for right now at least. I also have these, let me see, there's one over here. Oh, he flipped himself over. The snails are so weird. This guy right here, this is how he sleeps. This guy right here, this is how he sleeps. He just kind of falls from wherever he was and lays upside down. I constantly flip him back over, but he's totally fine to flip himself over. So it's really just a waste of time and I've stopped doing it. He's super active. He's smaller than the others, but he seems fine. I don't know if you can tell, he has a little bit of a crack in his shell. So making sure he has, good nutrients for his shell is important. I have to give them some more snail jello, which I usually add calcium powder too. So that helps with their shell. But everyone's very happy. I'm trying to see if we can get you a good shot of these guppies. They're Cobra Guppies, and they are gorgeous. The way the pet store sells them, though, is the males are listed as Cobra Guppies. There we go. but the females are kind of just listed as Fancy Guppies female, but I was able to find ones that are spotted like the cobras. So I picked those out. I want to keep them as nice as possible. Adding guppies to this tank was always the plan. I was very nervous it wouldn't work with the female betas in here, but everyone is just so happy. Right now they're hungry, so I gotta get them food. And yes, you can tell it's time for a water change. It was actually due on beginning of this week, but we've had so much going on I haven't had a chance to do it. But that's usually why I do a little bit more than 20 to 30% just in case, so I can give myself a little bit more time, even though I'm aiming for weekly. I am just in love with this tank. You don't even understand. Like I said, the only thing I need now for it is, there's one you can see really well. All I want now for this tank are some coolie loaches. I have some black coolie loaches in my 29 gallon, but I want the striped ones. I want to get more plants, but then this tank is done. This little thing here, if you're wondering what that is actually a lily, I guess. What's in front of it is also a lily that kind of just fell off, but it's growing by itself, so it doesn't necessarily need the bulb. I'm hoping the bulb will grow more. Here is my other grown one back here. That one grew really well. It was sprouting up to the surface, and I was cutting them back just to keep, I wanted that to be more bushy. I would like to get some ghost shrimp in here, maybe, but I had added them originally. I was quickly down to one, and he's gone now too. So I don't think this is a tank that's good for any kind of shrimp, and ghost shrimp was my best bet because they're harder to see. While we're here anyway, I figured I'd give you a little update on some of the females in here. This girl right here, you can tell she looks a little bit swollen. I have treated the tank for parasites, or at least some sort of parasites, with API's General Cure. It didn't seem to have any sort of effect on her. So I've got to try another type. I've also been trying to feed her more frozen foods to see if maybe she's just bloated. Another option is she could just be egg bound, and hopefully that will kind of alleviate itself on its own. Her personality and her energy levels, nothing about her screams "I'm sick." So I've kind of just been trying to be careful how much she gets fed. She seems fine otherwise. She's just so much bigger compared to the other girls, and she makes me nervous. But she seems to be doing well, just like the rest of them. She's just swollen. So I'm still trying to figure out what the problem is. If anyone has any idea, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have recommendations on products or medications, please let me know. And I'm willing to try anything. I'm just afraid she's going to die. And obviously I don't want that. She's gorgeous. She's also my only crown tail. She was the only crown tail I had that, like, I knew when I started this tank I wanted a crown tail. So definitely don't want to lose her. Also, if you guys have any ideas for names for the girls, that yellow one right there, I decided to call her Honey. And this blue one here reminds me of Obsidian from Minecraft, so that's probably her name. None of the other girls have any names, though. This one needs a name. She's beautiful. She looks like she has lipstick on. And someone else told me that she reminds them of the dinosaur from, like, Super Mario 2. I just think she's gorgeous. She's probably my favorite in here out of all of them. Not all of them have names, though. This one's too easy because she's a girl, so we just call her Minnie. No one else is named except for this snail here. Can't tell, maybe. He's a gold one, so we call him Pikachu. That's really it. I don't normally name my fish, but I love this tank so much. I spend so much time watching it that I feel like giving some of the fish the names would be a more personal touch. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down below, and I will be happy to read them over and see if we have anything we like. that does it for this video. If you like this, make sure you hit the thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.